Alright guys, with a 2004 Harley Davidson Ultra Classic. This is Harley's flagship bike, and has been the flagship bike until the CVO came out. I think the CVO may have came out in 06, 07. But this, at this point in time, this was their biggest, baddest, meanest, most loaded up bike. And we're gonna see why. If you're in the Harleys, you gotta like the Ultra Classic. Alright guys, let's take this thing for a spin. This particular bike has 61,000 miles on it. And I'm gonna show you that it runs like a top. Gorgeous day out. Now you guys might be wondering, well, is that a heavy bike? Yeah, it's a heavy bike. It's a Harley Davidson Ultra Classic. Everything on it's made of steel and iron. It's not that heavy though. I mean, it's only heavy when you're not moving, or when it's sitting on top of you. Wow, it's smooth. Really smooth. Holy cow, this bike feels good. Now some of the competitors to this is going to be like the Goldwing or the Vulcan Voyager. But the thing is, if you're buying a Harley, you know what I mean, no one has to convince anyone to buy a Harley. If you're buying a Harley, you know why you're buying a Harley, and all your friends have already convinced you that you got to buy a Harley, or you've been riding a Harley your whole life. But I'm going to talk about some of the good things about this bike. This might be my first time actually doing a test drive on an Ultra Classic, and I gotta admit, it's really smooth. I mean, it's way smoother than I ever thought it was gonna be. You think that that big V-twin is gonna make some vibration? There's Japanese bikes that make more vibration than this thing. You got really good visibility behind you. You don't feel like you're driving a big bike. I'm 6'2", and the frame of this bike is not actually that big. I feel like I could, my legs are almost at a 45-degree angle. The newer model Ultra, I think they start in like, I don't know, 10 or 13 or something like that. They're actually a bigger frame bike. Not that this isn't comfortable. It's got plenty of pulling power. I mean, I was going 50, now I'm going 60. This is a really good ride. I'm wearing a helmet, so I never feel too much wind on my face, but you see my hand, I don't feel anything, feel nothing. I mean, I could probably get away with wearing a baseball hat facing with the bill forward, and it's not gonna fly off. And to tell you the truth, this bike doesn't feel that heavy. It actually, I would say this bike handles better than the V-Rod does. I mean, the V-Rod's got more power, but this bike handles very well. And for a bike with 60,000 miles, I mean, it feels like it's got 10,000 miles. It feels like nothing. This bike was maintained very well. A lot of times, when someone buys a $35,000 Harley Davidson, they're probably gonna maintain it very well. Personally, I'd rather have a bike. Look at that tractor. Personally, I'd rather have a bike that was rode than sat all of its life. These things were made to run. Let's play with the radio a little bit. I don't know how to tune that. I don't feel like figuring it out while I'm driving. Oh, there it is. No, I don't know. It's a good running bike, and you can throw your wife on the back. She's going to be real comfortable. Other than the wing, the gold wing, the Harleys might be the most comfortable bike for someone to be on the back. I mean, their seats are so soft. And I feel pretty comfortable throwing this thing into a turn. I mean, I'm not throwing it into a turn, but it does not feel like a heavy bike. It doesn't feel as big as it is. And it runs great. This is a great running bike. I could definitely see myself riding something like this when I get older. Once again, beautiful Mannheim, Pennsylvania. Guys, you don't have to be local to buy this bike. I ship bikes all over the place. I'm shipping a bike to, shipping a Honda VTX to Texas this next week. I've shipped bikes to Las Vegas. I ship bikes all over the country. You'd be surprised about how cheap it is. And especially in other parts of the country where bikes are more expensive. You know, you might be in Las Vegas or on the East Coast, West Coast. No, you might be on the East Coast, and you might be like 60,000 miles. That's nothing. Every other 04 Ultra in your area has 160,000 miles. So that this bike might just be a steal. So don't. You know, we could probably get this shipped from coast to coast for about 700 bucks. Maybe 750 because it's bigger, but it's gonna be somewhere around that. So don't hesitate to contact me and say, hey, can we get this thing shipped? I want that bike. I'm always able to answer anyone's questions. I often answer questions with video, just to show you. Most people want to be shown what I'm talking about, and I try to be as transparent as I possibly can about these bikes. Because most likely this bike will not be sold in a 20-mile radius of me. This bike's probably going to be bought sight unseen, but I like to think that you guys have already seen the bike from the video. I like to think that you guys have already got an idea of what it's like riding the bike from this video. All right, guys. I really enjoyed riding this bike. Now you start feeling the vibration once you're not moving. But while I was rolling down the road, man, this thing was smooth.